Today I thought it would be really fun and different if I put on my favorite pink clothes and jumped in my bathtub to tell you guys all about this. I've had people write in and tell me about how they really like using their bathtub faucet for stimulation. And if you've tried that before on your own, you know that it can be really weird. You have to like scoot your butt underneath this faucet and have your legs kind of in a weird position, and these faucets just like were not meant to create a stream of water that goes to your groin. And that is why this was invented. So I'm going to take a couple minutes today and tell you guys about this product. It's called the Waterslyde, and it has a really, really cool story that honestly I felt compelled to make a video about because, I don't know, I just feel like I like showcasing things on this page that aren't just trying to make money, aren't just gimmicky, and this product actually has a really, really cool story. It's extremely accessible, and I truly stand behind everything that Lovability, who is the company that produces the Waterslyde, stands for. So the Waterslyde, which is what this thing is right here, is essentially a water diverter. That's like the fancy word for what this is. And the main goals of this product are for bathtub pleasure and assisted hygiene. So assisted hygiene would be for someone who maybe is disabled and isn't able to use their hands or has difficulty with just like normal cleaning that we kind of take for granted. A product like this can actually be used to assist them with cleaning. And as you guys know, in order to clean your vulva, you don't need to use a ton of soap and get really aggressive with it. Like, the best thing for cleaning your vulva is warm water. So the woman who invented this product, her name's Maureen Pollock, and I've spoken with her on the phone. She is extremely knowledgeable. So when Maureen was 15, she was taking a bath and she reached for this faucet to sit up in the bathtub. And when she did that, she accidentally pulled the faucet off the wall. The water shot at her and she jumped back as kind of like a reflex, and then the stream of water ended up going towards her vulva, and it felt really good. If you have tried this out for yourself, you can probably vouch for this. But she basically discovered that kind of means of masturbation and self-pleasure and kind of frequented that on her own. So later on, she was at an appointment with her gynecologist, and they were making jokes about the old bathtub method. While she was talking to her doctor about it, they talked about how inconvenient it is to have to scoot underneath the faucet, and it's not very comfortable, it's not very accessible for many people. And so her doctor actually encouraged the development of this product, saying like, I would invest in this, this is really smart, like let's do it, this is really cool. So Maureen, at a point in her life as a stay-at-home mom, was basically this kind of underground sex educator / personal shopper for a community of Orthodox Jewish women. And for those of you who don't know, there are restrictions among the Orthodox Jewish community around sex and modesty and what is and isn't permissible for a married couple to do. And the very rough understanding that I have of this is that items that have the potential to separate a husband and wife, so anything like a wife could be using by herself exclusively, those things are not necessarily approved by rabbis and the Orthodox Jewish community. So while developing this product, Maureen actually sought the guidance and advice of a rabbi to make sure that Orthodox Jewish women would be able to use this product. So because this product is something that is open to be used with your husband and won't necessarily separate a husband and wife, the rabbi gave her his blessing, and so this Waterslyde is actually Rabbi Approved, which is really cool. I think making things accessible for religious women who, regardless of whether or not you agree with their religious beliefs, I think that inclusivity and accessibility are really, really important, and the thought that went into developing this product really kind of struck a chord with me, and I thought it was really, really special. I myself am Reform Jewish, so I found this whole story really, really interesting. So they started developing the Waterslyde. It was created on a 3D printer actually, and while it was in development, they were testing it on women and kind of recording what the women said. And there were women who claimed that this was the best orgasm that they'd ever had. So they obviously knew that this is something worth pursuing. I mean, it's freaking cool. It's so cool. You basically turn it on and the water slides down, and you lay in your bathtub and just kind of like let the water hit you like this. So main reasons that the Waterslyde is incredible. What many people don't think about is that some people have disabilities that limit the use of their hands or that limit their mobility. And so things like bathing are extremely challenging, which can be aided by this product. And pleasure isn't even really in the question, because if you have like lost the capability of using your hands, kind of all the ways that we know to achieve pleasure involve using your hands. But what this does is it allows hands-free, extremely clean and extremely hygienic play for people who might have disabilities. Disabilities isn't the only reason why you might want to use this product. There are plenty of people who live as victims of sexual trauma. And what that can do is it can kind of affect your ability to receive touch. It can affect your sensuality. It can affect the affect or feelings that you have about your genitals and about touching your genitals. And so a lot of victims of sexual trauma really struggle with getting into a sexual headspace. It can be really, really hard to relearn that healthy sexual behavior. And so the Waterslyde has been reported to be really helpful for victims of sexual trauma in getting readjusted to sensation of the clitoris and vulva and genital arousal in general. I've also learned that some victims of sexual trauma, as a consequence of their negative experiences around sex, view their genitals negatively, view sex as inherently kind of dirty and as something that was obviously like corrupting and inappropriate. Victims of trauma can have a really hard time getting touched sexually, or even getting pelvic exams can be really, really difficult. So something like this can really help with that transition into getting used to touch again, maybe not with hands, but just with water. It's very natural, it's very clean for people who might have issues with cleanliness. Another thing is for people who are experiencing issues with their libido. Maybe they just gave birth, or there's various other reasons that people can have fluctuating sex drive. The Waterslyde is a really interesting way to kind of reset your sexual norm. If you're stuck in a routine of using a vibrator, of having to stimulate yourself in the same position in order to get any sort of pleasure, the Waterslyde is a really great way to kind of hit a reset button and teach yourself new ways of experiencing pleasure and leaning into it in the comfort of a tub, which is a very different sexual setting than what people are used to in their bed. Yeah, so you essentially just like get in your tub, scoot back. You can turn the water on with your foot, or you can have an assistant turn your water on before leaving you to your privacy, and then the water comes down and you just get to lay back and enjoy. So that's pretty much it on the Waterslyde. I am a huge fan. I think of all the things that I've talked about this year, I would say that this one is really high up in terms of like unconventional pleasure products. I can't wait to recommend this to patients who may have just kind of thought that sexual pleasure isn't going to be a part of their life, and now like can have a totally new outlook on sexual health. Quick pause. Quick shout out to Dr. Tiffany Moon, who made these aromasthesia candles. This is the propofol one. I've been burning this one, and the midazolam one, like non-stop when I study. They smell so good. She's also one of the Real Housewives of Dallas, so make sure to check her out and support her. But anyway, back to the Waterslyde. It's a Rabbi Approved water diverting aquatic stimulator. Super cool. I really hope that people who might have given up on their pursuit of sexual pleasure because of whatever reasons might see this and give it a try. All right, that's it for me. Make sure to check out the Waterslyde. I'll link all their information in the description below. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.